Hey everyone, Colleen here, back with another video, and in this one I'm going to help you restart your alternate day fasting journey. So you fell off your journey, you fell off the intermittent fasting protocol, you fell off alternate day fasting, and you're looking to get back on the horse, because just because you're down, it doesn't mean you're out. This video will help you get back on track, get back on the horse, and start riding toward your destiny. Are you ready? Yeehaw! Let's do some quick housekeeping. Go ahead and subscribe if you need motivation, inspiration, and encouragement to stick to your intermittent fasting journey. Here we mainly do alternate day fasting. I've lost well over 60 pounds in a matter of months by using alternate day fasting. If you're looking to break emotional ties with food, stop using food as a crutch and or trauma bonded to food. And if you're looking to decrease inflammation, decrease your likelihood of chronic illness, lose weight, lose belly fat, decrease cortisol, and gain overall appetite control, alternate day fasting may be your jam. So go ahead and subscribe if you're into all of that. Don't forget to like this video so YouTube knows that this is important content. As a disclaimer, I am not a medical professional, and any advice given is just through my own experience. If you have any questions medically, please refer to your physician. So you fell off of alternate day fasting and you feel like it's hard to get back on, or you don't know how to get back on. Here's number one. Number one, you need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself because you're only human. When you're human, you're gonna do human things such as fail. That's what humans do. It depends what you learn from the failure though. There are two kinds of people. They're the people that fall off and become victims to their circumstances. And then there are people who fall off and become victors. They learn from their mistakes and they brush themselves off and carry on. Which one are you? Which one are you going to be? I want you to become the person that dusts their shoulder off and continue on. So you need to learn how to give yourself the benefit of grace. Grace is almost defined as a flexibility, an elasticity you give yourself to make a mistake. At my job, if I'm 5 minutes late, they have 5 minutes built into my call time called grace time. So if you're 5 minutes late, guess what? You have an extra 5 minutes to get there on time. They've already given employees a certain elasticity, a grace time, just in case something happens. So you want to start forgiving yourself. You want to start asking yourself what happened, why did you fall off, and how can you get back on in a way that will propel you to success in the future. But you really have to start by just forgiving yourself. Do not beat yourself up. There's enough going on in the world. There's enough criticism from the outside world. You don't need to be your own worst critic. I want you to give yourself a hug for trying. You don't know how much reward, how much benefit there is in just trying. And the fact that you are trying says a lot about you as a person, that you want to do better in life, that you want to move from stagnancy, that you want to move on from mediocrity. And for that, I applaud you. You're doing just fine. Number two is to prepare yourself. Alternate day fasting is all about your mental preparedness. It is all a mental game. It is all a mental game. And it's not even a game. A lot of us allow our bodies to control our minds, but our minds are so powerful beyond belief. The fact that we're not even tapping into a percentage of our brain power is frightening. But the things that you can do when your brain tells it to, it's unbelievable. When you're looking to restart your journey, when you're looking to get back onto alternate day fasting, what you need to do is say, self, I want this. I'm ready for this. I am going to do this. Not I want to or I'm trying. I am going to. And keep repeating it to yourself. Whether you attempt that day and fall off, try again the next day. Try again the next day. Your body is going to start doing what your mind is saying, which is, I am going to, I am going to. And this can apply to anything you're doing in life. But when it comes to mastering what goes into your mouth, having discipline is going to be the foundation of getting through fasting. And once you're well into the protocol, let's say 2 weeks, true alternate day fasting, once you're 2 weeks in, the body will start to remember the pattern and it will get easier. But you have to mentally prepare yourself. So here's a little exercise. Give yourself a week, just 7 days. If your brain can process 7 days of like, okay, let's just do this. 7 days. Don't think about 2 weeks. Don't think about a month. Don't think about half a year. I just want you to focus on accomplishing 7 days. That's what I did when I first started. I said, okay, I'm going to give it 7 days. 7 days. And it's cool because every other day you get to eat. So it's not like every single day, I have to use willpower, I have to use willpower, I have to use willpower, like OMAD or 16-8 or warrior diet. That's why I didn't like those fasting protocols, because every day I had to use restraint, willpower, discipline. I'm like, Lord, alternate day fasting, behave yourself for 1 day. Can you do that? Behave yourself for 1 day and you'll make it to the next day and you get to eat. Give yourself a week. Put a week in your brain. Just be like, self, I'm gonna do a week of perfect true ADF. By the end of the 7 days, you will be ready for another 7 days. And that's when you'll start tapping into fat stores. You will start leaning out and a lot of beautiful fasting benefits will occur. So your mental preparedness will get you back on track. You really have to believe that your mind is in control and not your body. Number 3, a great thing to do is prep your meals. We all worry about the fast days, but just as important are the feast days. On the feast days, I like to think of it as refuel days. Refuel so you're able to get through your following fast days. You want to make sure you're having sufficient calories and you want to make sure you're having nutrient-dense meals. And in this lifestyle that we have, we're very busy, we work, we have families, we cater to other things, we have side hustles, there's a lot going on. So prepping your meals is a great idea. Prepare your meals, store them in the freezer, pull out your meals when you're ready for them. They're ready for you. And make sure you have enough food to keep you satisfied and nourished. You want to make sure you're having all your nutrients, your vitamins, supplements, all of that on your feast days. And a great way to make sure you're getting that good nutrition is to prep your meals. So overnight oats for breakfast, easy, store them in mason jars. Batch cook. You don't even have to share it out in separate meals. Have a whole tray of chicken and a pot of rice and feed from it as you need to. Roast a whole bunch of vegetables all at once. Store it away and just take from it as needed. You don't have to do individual containers. That's annoying to me. What you want to do is to keep it simple, Sally. Keep it simple as much as possible and you're able to stick to it longer the simpler it is. And that's why I love alternate day fasting. I don't have to think about anything. I don't have to count down. I just, when I wake up, I'm fasting till when I go to sleep. And when I wake up the next day, I'm feasting until when I go to sleep. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. So go ahead and prep your meals so you are ready for feast days. Number 4, to restart your journey, you want to start getting exercise in. And exercise is a great way to mentally and physically prepare yourself to know that a change is coming. When you're exercising, you start making better choices for some reason. Like, especially if you exercise early in the day. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but when I exercise early in the day, I make better food choices. I make better choices overall. I want something nourishing and healthy for breakfast. And then once you make a good choice for breakfast, it usually trickles down to lunch and dinner. Get your exercise in. You also want to start shaping that body so you're not just shapeless. A great thing about alternate day fasting is that it preserves muscle mass. By the grace and magic of science and God, it preserves muscle mass. So if you're resistance training, perfect protocol to really start seeing development of muscle tone and seeing abs and seeing biceps come through. It's wonderful. I highly suggest resistance training, but any exercise will really start mentally preparing you as well that you're on a health journey. You want to let your brain know that this is a different lifestyle we're living, and alternate day fasting and exercise go together so beautifully. Do not neglect exercise. Get some form of activity. As a human being, we are meant to move, whether it be walking, swimming, biking. I have a very physically active job, so I get my cardio that way. I have memberships to 2 gyms, and I love to do heavyweight training on my feast days and a lot of cardio on my fast days. I love stretching on my fast days and yoga, but start letting the body know that we're in this, and exercise is a beautiful way to do so. Exercise, if anything else, just at least start exercising. And number 5, which probably is the biggest thing in restarting your alternate day fasting journey, is you need to remember your why. Why did you start? And your why, it doesn't have to be deep. It's wonderful if it's deep, but what your why needs to do is when you remember it, you get yourself together again. My why before was that I wanted to be her. I didn't feel like her at 245 pounds. I felt like a frumpy, unsexy mom. And I've lost 60 pounds and I feel so beautifully feminine. That's the only word I could use. It's beyond sexy. Like, I feel feminine. I feel like a woman now, especially since I've started weight training and I built a lot of curves. I feel womanly. I feel very feminine. And there's people that do it for their children. There's people that want to fight diabetes, and that's a big one for me too. Diabetes runs in generations of my family on both sides, so that's just not my future. And fasting is a wonderful way to prevent and or even reverse diabetes, type 2 diabetes. But that is another why, but it's not my strongest why, and I know that. You have to be very self-aware. You can't say, oh yeah, I want to be here for my kids, and that's not driving you. If it's something petty, like I want to get revenge on this girl in high school that called me fat at prom. Hey, if it's lighting the fire up under you, who's to say you're wrong? If your why is, I want to be able to climb steps without huffing and puffing, if that's a big deal to you, that's your why. If it truly is your kids, like I didn't even realize how much losing weight would affect my playtime with my kids. Like, I could run after them. The other day I went to Billy B's, and if you're familiar with Billy B's, it's like this massive playhouse with the tubes and the slides. I was able to crawl through tubes and catch them and run with them and slide. And those slides are narrow. That's a beautiful thing. If you want to get on an airplane and feel comfortable with the seatbelt going across your lap, it's the little things, but they're the things that make you want to check yourself. Remember your why. Remind you why you're doing this and what this is all for. If you just want to look good, feel good, and get back to a person you once knew, that's okay. Your why is just for you and it's not for anyone else. But you need to keep it in your mind as to why you started and why you need to restart it. Okay? The thing about restarting is that you can do it at any time. You can continue. You don't have to plateau. You don't have to throw in any towels, because alternate day fasting is always ready for you when you're ready to come back. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed this video, if it was helpful, encouraging, and subscribe if you want to see more. I'll be putting out as much ADF content as you'd like to see. And in the comments below, tell me what video you would like to see so I could hopefully address any concerns you have while alternate day fasting. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.